the recent UN climate talks in Durban, South Africa. And when Joanna and Michelle had asked me about coming to do this and wanting to hear something about the Durban climate talks, I went and did some research, and it was almost like a glass, you look at it half full or half empty. Some people thought, it was pretty good because there were some agreements reached where they would try to work toward an accord, somewhat like Kyoto, but there's nothing binding. Still, the undeveloped nations are left out of the talks in a sense. The major countries like the United States particularly will not do anything unless the developed countries agree to strict CO2 emission reduction, which just for a moment is not really fair. I mean, it really is like a imperialism of carbon monoxide. We have used up so much and there's this tiny little bit left, and we're saying, okay, you're not going to get your fair share. We're going to use the biggest portion to the very end. So they're stalled there. And there was some hope, there was some outstanding protests by NGOs and so forth. The next climate talks will be held in Qatar in the end of this year. But importantly, this year in June, Rio Plus 20 will be held in Brazil, which is where it was the instigator of all these back in 1992 with the Earth Summit. And believe it or not, George W. Bush supported those talks, and there was some hope and promise back then. And as you may remember, the new reality is the Parliament of the Maldives, the cabinet, met underwater just to demonstrate, how imperiled they are. I mean, this nation of islands are literally being drowned by carbon dioxide emissions. And so as a dramatic gesture, they held their cabinet meeting before the Durban talks underwater. And so, in closing, I know I'm singing to the choir here, preaching to the choir if you like. I don't think I've told anybody anything they didn't know probably. But what the choir has got to do now is get up out of their seats and into the streets. Because really the time for action is now. And the streets, by getting involved with the legislature, United States Congress, local city councils, because we need to change light bulbs, but it's more important to change laws, because the problem is so huge.